bride and groom want to take a moment to thank everyone who's made it out here today, including those who have traveled as far away as Maryland, Oregon, Colorado, and across Austin in traffic. They'd also like to take a moment, just take a little moment of pause to remember the one woman who wanted to be here the most, Holland's mother, Michelle, who we knew wouldn't have missed it for the world, and is here with us in spirit. Now, Jake, Holland, I promise I'll keep this short, but I want to let everyone know why we're all gathered here today. For those who don't know, Jake and Holland have known each other for a long time. In fact, as far back as September 2009, they've been on-again, off-again friends, enemies, and part-time matchmakers for each other's exes. There were good times, there were bad times. There were times where they were talking every day, there were times where they would lose touch for up to a year. Now, there might have been a few pauses, missed moments, and mix-up over the years, but there's some things you can't stop, and some you can't explain. Now, Holland moved to Austin, and you couldn't have stopped that if you know her. Holland and Jake kept in touch, even when Holland was in Europe for 8 weeks. They'd back and forth Skype call and message, and eventually a conversation came up where Jake said, "I need to come see you." And the next message was a picture of a plane ticket to Austin. Now, there's some things you can't stop, and there's some things you can't explain. But we can explain this as a mixture of fate, true connection, and a little push by Mrs. Eichel. Now, this is the point of the story where I first met Jake. I was not immediately prepared to meet the winner of the Hunger Games, nor did I expect him to be so kind. But I liked him plenty, and I guess my roommate did also. Now, it wasn't long before Han and I stayed up at night discussing whether long-distance relationships were feasible. And it wasn't long after that till they were flying to see each other every month and a half. And one time, almost 4 months and a half, but you'll have to ask her about that. Now, I assume most of you have been here for the rest of the story. But in case you missed it, they would spend the holidays together. Jake transferred jobs in cities so they could be together. And they moved in together. They're buying a house together. They adopted dogs together and even put up with Popcorn, the cat, as a dysfunctional child in their relationship and family together. And before we knew it, they sat on a beach in the Riviera together, where Jake asked her if they could always be together. And now we're all here together. And I asked Jake when he knew he was going to marry Holland, and he said, sometime in December, she moved all her stuff to my house, and it just felt right. It felt like home. He said it felt perfect. Now, when I asked Holland the same thing, she told me marriage used to bring on hives whenever she talked about it. And then one day she just said, "I'm going to marry you, you know." Little did she know the ring was already being made and the trip was already booked. Now, Jake, Holland, I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say I'm so glad to see you all together. You managed to trust, try, and love one another with such intention and such meaning that you set a bar we can only all hope to follow. You survived distance, tribulation, home ownership and renovations, and the flood of 2015. And it's really only been a couple of years. I hope to see you flourish into the couple you deserve to be and learn from the example set forth by Jake's parents. It is the bride and groom who have wished to have a poem that was recited at Jake's own parents' wedding here today, a little piece called the Apache Wedding Prayer. It goes, "Now you will feel no rain, for each of you will be the shelter to the other. Now you will feel no cold, for each of you will be the warmth to the other. Now there is no loneliness, for each of you will be the companion to the other. Now are you two bodies, but there is one life before you. Go now to your dwelling place, to enter into the days of your togetherness. And may your days be good and long upon the earth." It's a wondrous thing to see you two happy, and I challenge everyone here today to be their guides, community, and family as we watch these two navigate their lives together. I know I don't have to tell y'all the two of you are very loved, supported, and watched over from here on out. But I do think the people who came today have made it very clear that you mean the world to me. All right, now to the good part. Jake, do you have a win? Jake, would you take your left hand and repeat after me? I, Jake Einhorn,
I, Jake Einhorn,
ask you, Holland, to be my wife
ask you, Holland, to be my wife,
through sickness and in health,
through sickness
better or for worse, in good times and bad, I will cherish our marriage till death do us part. Holland, do you accept? Holland, repeat after me. I, Holland Hamilton, ask you, Jake Eichhorn, to be my husband, through sickness and in health, for better or for worse, in good times and in bad. I will cherish our marriage till death do us part. Jake, do you accept? And now, with the odds ever in your favor, and in front of the witnesses gathered here today, and by the powers vested in me, I gladly and finally pronounce you man and wife. Jake, you may kiss the bride.
Yay! Now that's a tip.
Mr. and Mrs. Eichhorn.
Beautiful dress. The dress turned out really nice.
It's beautiful. She said the other one, when it was getting alteration, she started crying. It was the other one she wanted.
Make sure I get the copy. I'll keep it flat here.